All right, so here's what we're working on today. We are going to do the wheels on this truck. This is for a return customer of mine. We have to do these a little different than normal though, because of the way they are designed. So these are 22-inch wheels. They do have pitting in them, as you can see, okay? So let's go over here, just when it's in sunlight so we can see easily. All right, so we have pitting all in here. When you pay 200 bucks to get a set of wheels done, that's what my special is right now, is 200 bucks to get a set of wheels done. That does not include the insides. So on most vehicles like this, you can't see the inside of the rim, the back side, okay? All you can see is the face, okay? The face of the rim, you can't see the inside. On this one right here, same deal. All you can see is the face. You don't really see the inside. When you're dealing with, I mean, all these vehicles, you can just see the faces. When you're dealing with the more open face like this with a 22, we can see back here, okay? So we can see up inside here where all the actual brake dust and grime is. In order to do that, you'd have to stand these wheels up on their side and paint them from the back side and paint them from the front side all at once. You'd have to take the weights off that are stuck to the inside, and the customer would have to get all that rebalanced. This customer's on a budget. That's the reason why he's here for 200 bucks. So we're gonna make this work for him. So two issues that I discussed with him that we're gonna make this work. We're gonna actually spray paint the inside in here with some trim and bumper paint, which is a satin paint. I went over it in my other videos. So before we're gonna scrub the inside, and before we start spraying, we're just gonna rattle can from somewhere in here all the way out to there, okay? So from about in here all the way to the back. That will give us a satin black look. Even if you did it gloss after a month of driving with the brake dust, it's gonna turn it like a flat look. It's not gonna be shiny no more. You know how your shiny wheels get dull for the brake dust, and nobody cleans up inside there. So that's what we're gonna do on the inside. When you got right here, so you actually have on the back side, this lip right here where my finger's at, you'd have to paint this from the inside. But you can see it from the outside. So when your fan pattern's like this, and my fingers are your fan pattern, and you're spraying, you know, the fan pattern right there is going to shoot through at a 45, and it's going to shoot through this side at a 45 like this. So you're going to have this little triangle behind the spoke back here, okay? It's going to be like this. That's not going to really get good coverage. It's going to be really hard for you to paint it and get it good coverage if you don't do it from the back side. So right before we get started, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of rattle can, and we're just going to spray up inside here. We're gonna come in here and spray up in here, and we're gonna spray on the back side of this lip, just right here, so that it's already done with some, you know, rattle can real quick. And then when we spray overlap, it will just overlap right over top of that, and where it can't get, there will already be some black there, and it'll be nice and efficient. In order to paint from, you've seen how in my other videos, how I lay them down flat, and you're gonna see in this video, how we mask them up and then we shoot them. So in order to paint from the back side with an actual paint gun, you would have to flip it over or stand it up and mask it. So you'd have to mask both sides of the tires. And that's what we're trying to avoid, because we're keeping this customer on a $200 budget. Just a quick in and out job. So we're gonna scuff these up, get them clean. And then when they go into the booth right before paint, we're gonna go ahead or before we mask them, we're gonna stand them on their sides, and we're gonna go ahead and spray the back sides and spray behind each spoke, and then flip them, mask them, and then shoot them right away with some black base coat clear coat mixture. So stay tuned. All right, so we got the wheels off the truck. Now we're gonna scuff them down, and on these, being they do have all of the pitting, we're actually gonna just use steel wool to scuff them down with. This is gonna cut that pitting a little bit better than your Scotch-Brite would. So you can get everything scuffed down really good with steel wool, and then get them in the booth. All right, now what I'm doing on these is scuff them down. Like I said, it takes Scotch-Brite. I meant steel wool, I'm sorry. It takes steel wool. That's what I'm just doing on this one. So I take my steel wool and I get in between there, smooth that out, and look how good that, I mean, if you could feel it, it's feeling really good. Then I take the Scotch-Brite and I scuff it down. As you can see, the chrome's all scratched up really good. I scuff everything down with Scotch-Brite. I just like using the steel wool on the pitting, and it's this level of pitting. Other ones that are pitted way worse, I might not even bother with it. But I like to use the steel wool between them and then on the back side, and then run over everything with Scotch-Brite. All right, and once you get all that up, you're gonna put them up on the stand or whatever you're painting them on. And then we will start going ahead and painting the back sides. Once we get the back sides painted, then we will flip them down and tape the front sides, and then continue to spray the front and go over everything. But let me show you how we spray the back sides, just so you can get an idea of how this is going to be done. And you don't have to worry about none of this. You don't have to get all this, because again, all our problem here is what you can see here. So as you can see back here, when you're looking through it, you can only see to that edge right there. You can't see on the back side of it. So I just want to hit a little up in there like that. Okay, and then I just want to hit this part right here. That's all I want to do. I just want to do a light coat and then come back over it. And then, like I said, my actual paint is going to blend right over, right over top of this. So this is all you want to do is a light coat. Okay, go around and do all that. Just make sure you get all up inside them really good, because that's where you're going to see it at. Okay, see how we're doing that? And this right here, we're probably gonna wipe all that stuff off, that little bit of overspray that you get on there. There's really no reason to spend time masking it up. So especially if you're doing a budget job like this, you're just trying to get some color back here so that it doesn't show where our new paint doesn't go. All right, so I'm gonna go around and get all of these, and then we'll get to paint in the front. All right, so that's what you end up with on the insides. You can still see the pitting. We're not repairing pitting, like we're literally just trying to create a black shadow on the inside of the rim so that after they're painted, you don't see the overspray necessarily. That one is gonna dull out, it's not all the way dry, but you can see some of the other ones are a lot duller. So like I said, you don't have to worry about getting all this. You don't have to worry about getting the backside of the spoke, because what you're going for is you're going for that look right there, okay? You're going for the look of when you're down on here, all of this is black up inside here, not chrome. Then the outside we're gonna paint with legit base coat, clear coat, and flow. A lot of ours will shoot through here and flow right over top of that. So some of that will actually get base coat, clear coat up inside of there, but this is what you want. You want that black shadow, powder coated look. So that's the reason why you're using the trim and bumper paint. And then your outside, you know, you can see here's what I was talking about, like right in here. See, normally that'd be chrome, whereas that's already black. So all I gotta do is focus on getting my outside like this, and I don't have to worry about back there. And then whatever shoots up in there and spreads out, it's a bonus. So these will look good. Let's get at it. All right, for the rims, you know the deal. We've taped them up. Now the first step we're gonna do on these is shoot the Bulldog adhesion promoter first, and then we're gonna shoot some of our black base coat, and then we're gonna do a dirty tinted clear coat, and then a straight clean clear coat. So on my base coat, I'm about to drop the base coat on the rims. I'm actually going to put some Bulldog in there. What I do sometimes is spray the Bulldog on the product itself, and then you can put a little bit of Bulldog in your base coat, and then that will help with even more adhesion. So being we are painting chrome, and you're not exactly supposed to paint chrome, we want to do everything that we can to make sure that the adhesion is as best as possible for a budget. Now, of course, if you had a higher budget, you can move to an epoxy primer and use that and all that, but for the 200 bucks, that's just not in the budget for this job. So Bulldog in your base coat, that's going to help it lock onto the Bulldog and the rims that's already there. All right, so there they are done. They come out pretty good. You can see there are slight imperfections in them, but now you can see the back down there how it's just all black and it's not shiny and chrome. I think we improved them greatly. I think the customer will definitely be happy with them once we get them on his truck, and he'll definitely be thrilled, I feel like. The pitting is mostly covered up. There was some areas that just wasn't, didn't want to take it. Basically, I feel like there was an area over here. I don't remember where it's at. Like you can see right there in the reflection. So basically what I'm pretty sure that is like where that was pitting, and there's probably brake dust particles in there, even though I scrubbed the mess out of them. And it's just releasing and it's just pushing the clear away, and the clear just doesn't like it. There's some more right there if you look down in there. But it's minor, and like I said, this is a $200 budget job, so it's we improved them way better than what they were. So, and they look good. Like they're not bad at all. The little bolts that screws in these, we have to hit them with some paint tomorrow. I told them we're just gonna hit them with spray paint because I didn't want to hit them with actual base coat clear coat, because it gets so thick that the size of the Allen bolt inside of them, you know, the Allen key might not fit that great. But you can see down inside them, they look good. You know, I think they're gonna look really good on the truck for what it is, for what money he's got in them. He was thinking about buying another set of wheels, but I mean, you just can't go wrong with painting something like this. All right, and so now we're just doing our bolts. I just take my good old trim and bumper plate. That way it's satin, so it's not too glossy. Even though the rest of the low caps are, or the hubcaps are glossy, these bolts, I just want them like a satin finish. That way they don't show scratches, and just, I don't know, I just think satin finish is better overall. So I'll use a piece of cardboard, punch some holes in it to hold your bolts, and then just hit them with a couple coats of rattle can, let them dry in the sun for a few minutes, and then put them back in. All right, so there's the wheels done back on the vehicle. You know, like I said, when you're walking around it, man, it looks good. If you notice in the backside of the rims, you don't see chrome. I think the customer's gonna be happy. Man, that's an excellent budget job. You know, that's all he wanted. The truck looks good now with all the black. You know, definitely flows really well. You got the chrome bumper, and you got some chrome door handles with chrome emblems. You know, it's not too much chrome and not too much black, so it looks good. But there you go. Like I said, these things still have some flaws. They do got dust on them right now, so it might be what you've seen of some of them. We did, you know, paint over a pitting rim, and we didn't sandblast it and etch prime it and all that stuff, because the customer just wants a budget job. But if you look deep up inside the wheels now, back there on the lips, you know, they're all black, and that's what we were going for in the beginning of the video. Some of the wheels turned out better than the other wheels. The pitting really faulted us on this one, but overall, I think he'll be happy. I don't see no reason why he wouldn't be happy. And when you look deep up inside the wheel, you can still see some of the trash where just the metal is messed up and pitted. So the correct way to do these, if you want to do them, would be sandblast them down, sandblast all the chrome off of them, and then do etching primer, and over top of your etching primer, do a filler primer, sand out all your filler primer, and then you have a nice smooth surface to paint on top of, and then come back with you know, your base coat, clear coat on top of that. But for 200 bucks for a job like this, there's no reason not to be happy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep sharing how we do things and tips and tricks and secrets to the trade.